Hey, great day. Welcome to the podcast. And so let's talk about 7 success traits that you need as a business owner to own your time, add money in your bank account without burning yourself down to the ground. So if that's what you are tuning into for this season, go ahead and get your pen and sheet of paper and let's do a business therapy session. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Dr. TK, clinical psychologist and business mentor. And so let me ask you, if you are in the service-based business, do you feel booked out? If you serve clients or customers, are you seeking to fill up your calendar, but you feel like you don't have any space to hold anything new? You cannot think past what is happening right now. If you have paperwork, you feel like for the most part, you might be caught up, but when you start to entertain, I want to grow my business, I want to add a new stream of income. That requires more time. It requires more energy than I actually have right now. And so I need to figure out something that I'm doing that I need to improve on and get better at because this is not working for me. And so I want to share with you 7 traits of the successful entrepreneur. All right. And we're going to dive into some personal development. I am real big on reading things that align with psychology and just stimulating the mind. So, trait number 1 is clarity of vision. And so, this was inspired by Napoleon Hill, who wrote books like Outwitting the Devil, and Jack Canfield, that's really big into positive psychology, mindset, manifestation, all the things. And so, what this would look like in terms of clarity and vision is someone who says, I want to expand, let's just say, beyond one-on-one services in any industry. And for me right now, is not about the money. Don't get me wrong. I want to make money, but it's not just the money. It's really about time freedom, location freedom, choice freedom, making impact, even building a legacy for my business and for my brand. So a breakdown of how this may look in your business is, you know what? I want Fridays off. I want to be able to go to the spa. I want to be able to hang out with my friends, do nothing, or volunteer at my kids' school. So let me be clear. This is not a dream, because some people put this in air quotes and say, oh man, that would be nice, but that's a dream. It's not a dream. It actually has clear direction. So definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. This is by Napoleon Hill. When you are very clear about why you're doing something and where you want to go, you will then learn how to navigate between saying yes to only things that are linked to that outcome and no to things that are not serving the next version of you. So trait number 2 is identity-based habits. So this was inspired by Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. So this can look like, instead of trying to be more consistent, like I gotta post every single day at a certain time, successful entrepreneurs become the kind of person who simply follows through on your word, meaning you hold integrity to yourself. So in business, this can translate to, you know what? I am a person in which I am sticking to my CEO time every single Monday. What that looks like is that you are protecting your time, your energy, with your ability to create, delegate, and plan. You're not giving your Monday away to all things that come up on that day. You have very specific and strict boundaries. So a quote from James Clear is, every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. That hits different. Every action that you do, that you say yes to, is basically you raising your hand saying, I'm gonna get further and further away from the person I want to become. Or if I say yes to the right thing, I will get closer to the desired outcome that I want. Trait number 3 is time ownership. Time, personally, to me, is the wealthiest currency you can have, because it's the one thing you cannot get back. So this is from Dan Martell, the book Buy Back Your Time. And I'll make sure to link all these books below. They're all in my Amazon store. I've listened to them Audible and read the physical books. They are good. And a lot of them I read over and over again. So I'll just link up my Amazon bookstore so that you can see all these different books. All right. So what this looks like in business is, you want to know your buyback rate, according to Dan Martell. And you don't want to confuse that with you just refusing to do $20 hour task as a $200 expert. So you want to sit down and really look at, and you can look at his calculation, where is your time going, and realistically, how much is your time worth? Because that will dictate what activities you should or should not be doing in your business. So how this translates into business activities: if you understand your buyback rate, you will know who to hire and what to hire them for, such as outsourcing, invoicing, billing, administrative duties, even meal prep or laundry in your home, because you want to shift your focus into hosting a workshop, hosting an event, putting together a course of some sort, or actually serving your one-on-one or group clients. So you want to ask yourself, what would I do if I actually got 5 hours back every single week? When was the last time you've asked yourself something like that, if you have? Because when you start questioning yourself, you will start making better decisions, because now you're evaluating how you're showing up. Trait number 4, action over perfection. Now, this year in 2025, we are in a state of, as a world, as a whole, a level of information overconsumption. After one video, you feel like you don't have enough information, so you got to listen to the next one. Now, a quick fix to this would be find the right mentor or coach so that they can just give you the whole thing and you don't have to piecemeal something together. But even when you do that, you may say, I still feel like I'm missing something. And the crazy part is you haven't even implemented what they told you to implement. You haven't even followed their instructions, but you feel like you're missing something. So this portion was inspired by Rachel Rodgers, who wrote We Should All Be Millionaires, and Jim Rohn. He is an awesome personal development teacher back in the day. I was turned on to him when I was in network marketing, and that is actually how I got introduced to personal development. So what this looks like is not waiting until every workbook page is perfect in a digital product for you to launch. You're not waiting for your website to be crystal clear for you to open up your service-based business. Done is better than perfect. Your perfectionism will come into play after you do. You have to actually do something. So this also can look like launching a service or digital product after 7 clients ask you the same question in session. You may think, you know what, I need to take action on this because I keep getting this question over and over again, so I should probably do something about it. Why don't you go implement and build it out and see how I feel before you say, I don't know, maybe I should wait another year? And why don't you actually build a product based off what you already know that works, that people are asking for? So this quote is from Rachel Rodgers. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Don't wait to be chosen. Choose yourself. Trait number 5, accountability and community. So this was inspired by Tony Robbins and people who are in the psychology, masterminding of your mindset in a positive way for you to grow philosophy. Okay. So investing in coaching and in mentorship or a community where expansion is normalized will help you be accountable for how you show up, because you told these people you were going to do X. So I'll give you an example. I was in a mastermind a couple of years ago, and during our first in-person mastermind beyond the group once a month calls, a lot of us were looking for that unicorn called an integrator, a person number 2 in our business that can run our business even with other team members overseeing them when we're gone, right? So we all were like, yo, can your integrator even train us to train our integrator kind of person? So he said, if a certain percentage, which was like 95%, if 95% of the 25 people that were in the mastermind hired an integrator by a particular date, he would actually have us go through a training with their integrator at some point in our mastermind. Do you know that same night, I went to my little cottage because we were in the mountains in Sedona, Arizona. I had a conversation with my team member, sent off an email. She accepted, went back to the next day at a mastermind and said, all right, I'm ready. When are we having the training? I'm not sitting here and waiting. I'm going to, like I said in the previous trait, I'm going to choose myself. But even being in the room forced me to look at doing what I've just been talking about doing. He was like, all right, well, I'll give you this if you do this. And I am a student at nature. I will follow simple instructions. Okay. So you want to join some type of circle in which the table was already set. So you can just show up, ask your questions, speak up. So by Tony Robbins, he had shared, Your life is a direct reflection of the expectations of your peer group. So look around you. Who are you having conversations with? How deep does it go? How wide does it go? Are people scatterbrained, or do they help you fine tune one thing at a time and help you stay focused? Right? Trait number 6, long-term thinking with urgent action. Long-term thinking with urgent action. So this is inspired by me listening for years, decade, to Eric Thomas, Dr. Eric Thomas. So holding the vision, but taking action this week. You can still have a vision on your vision board, but that doesn't mean you do nothing right now because you wait until 15 months from now. You don't act only when you feel like you're ready. So this would look like you mapping out, if you have a 12-month goal, you map out a 90-day launch for a particular product. Even while you are working full time, you can still map it out. Because once you map it out, you may say, wow, I actually want to start. But you have to start, okay? So per Dr. Eric Thomas, when you want to succeed, y'all probably heard this one. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Listen to that. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you will be successful. You like breathing, right? You like tapping into this podcast episode, right? So that you can shift your mindset to do something so that you can have a better quality life, the one that matches your vision board, right? So if you like breathing, if you like waking up every day, then you want to match your level of desired success to that, okay? Trait number 7, decision-making confidence. So this was inspired by Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil, a book that I look at about 2 times a year. And he talks about drifter versus non-drifter. I did create a podcast episode. If I can find it, I'll link it up. I think it was audio only, but y'all, you got to read the chapter on drifter versus non-drifter, but read the whole book. So what this looks like is you're not floating throughout the day, reacting to things around you like emails. Successful entrepreneurs make decisive moves and they trust themselves. Now, I'm gonna be real, this is quite hard, especially when you have encountered obstacles before, and it may have taken a while for you to process that, get through it, etc., right? So what this also can look like on a deeper level is you gotta learn how to trust yourself and say, because I want this desired schedule, I want to make this amount of money, this also will require me to only see these type of clients because they don't drain me and they pay me. So you got to learn how to say no to certain clients that want to fill a spot and maybe dedicate some of those hours to saying yes to business development. Not every hour on your calendar has to be a client. If you want to build a thriving business, it shouldn't. You forget to put yourself on the calendar and you are part of the business. So the concept in the Outwitting the Devil book is drifters make choices based on fear, false evidence appearing real, or others' approval. Like if I do this, they'll be happy. Non-drifters, which is only about 3% of the population, act with purpose. We have an end goal. We draw the map to match the end goal. It's a simple put, okay? So let's recap. Successful entrepreneurs, you know where you're headed. You build identity-based habits. You buy back your time. You take action before you're ready. You surround yourself with support. You move fast. You move fast with long-term vision and make bold decisions. And with these traits, y'all, what I want you to really take from this is you are actively building right now, not in the future. So if you are tuning into this episode and you are nodding your head and you like, oh man, this hit, on multiple levels, then I want to make sure that one, you come back. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast, like this podcast, but also let me know what was your biggest takeaway in the description box. If you are listening on the audio, feel free to join us on YouTube. But I also want you to check out the show notes and description box because I am about to host a motivational interviewing, harvesting change talk. All this stuff, we're going to take it a little deeper according to the growth of your business, Q4 into 2026. And we are going to tear this stuff apart so that we can really get to the root of what's preventing you from even claiming the big goals that you desire, putting it on a sheet of paper, and creating a map for it and then getting to work. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you check the show notes and description box so that you can sign up for that workshop and save your seat, because it will be happening at the beginning of fall. It's like going back to school right before the fourth quarter. And the way that we end the fourth quarter will determine how you show up in the first quarter. So in this community, we are all about overflow and not overthinking. Okay. And so head down to the show notes. I would love to have you back. And so I will talk to you in the next podcast episode. Have a great day. Bye.